One day we'll wake up and brush our teeth and we'll go to work, and at some point we'll suddenly realize that we haven't thought about it at all.
Hey guys, Kiwi here, warning of spoilers for Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul up to Season 6, Episode 8. In this video I'll be breaking down the kinda rare and obscure teaser trailer for Episode 609 of Better Call Saul, along with potentially Season 6 Part 2 in general. Like the video if you end up enjoying it, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad updates. With that being said, let's jump right into the breakdown. So first off, if you want to just skip to the trailer breakdown, check the timestamps / chapters in the description, but first I want to explain the quote-unquote lore as to how this trailer came to fruition. I call this trailer rare because after episode 608 aired, AMC actually never released an episode 609 trailer online, and technically they still haven't, as this trailer is just another mysterious season 6 part 2 teaser. The dialogue could appear in episode 609, but it's possible this dialogue could be from episode 610 to 613. Normally a trailer for next week's episode gets released either online immediately after the current episode airs, or it'll be attached to the end of the current episode on AMC+. This week, that never happened, and I actually instead found this trailer on TV during a commercial break after episode 608 aired, along with its immediate replay. I actually saw this during a commercial break during whatever classic movie was playing on TV on AMC after episode 608 aired and then replayed, so I rewound it and recorded it on my phone. Thankfully by the next day, as I'm recording this, the trailer has been released online in HD, but at least that night, while writing up this script, all I had to go off of was a phone recording I took for the trailer during that commercial break. I had a viewer send in the HD version to me earlier this morning on Twitter, so thank you for that. But also, while I've been in the process of creating this video, just 20 minutes ago, the Better Call Saul Twitter page has finally released this teaser officially. Still no actual 609 trailer though, yet. Thankfully, I didn't have to use a phone recording in my video, and we now have the trailer officially online. Anyways, with the surprisingly long lore of the trailer out of the way, let's jump into actually discussing the trailer itself. This teaser trailer has an extended shot of a clip from one of the previous trailers slowly zooming into Saul Goodman's Breaking Bad office, and the trailer I'm talking about was the last one released before episode 608 aired, where we saw Saul in his Breaking Bad mansion. However, in this teaser, this shot is matched with brand new dialogue. In this trailer, we hear Jimmy saying,
"One day we'll wake up and brush our teeth and we'll go to work, and at some point we'll suddenly realize that we haven't thought about it at all."
This is almost an exact quote to something that Mike said to Jimmy in episode 509. This is when Jimmy was having a bad day at work after getting home from being stuck in the desert with Mike, so he calls up Mike to talk to him about it. Jimmy confides in Mike how the events of episode 508 Bagman were weighing heavily on him as he's forming PTSD from the entire situation. This is where Mike gives Jimmy the iconic Bad Choice Road monologue, which is a great analogy for explaining how people who end up in certain bad situations, it's usually due to their own actions.
We all make our choices, and those choices, they put us on a road. Sometimes those choices seem small, but they put you on the road. You think about getting off, but eventually you're back on it.
I can make an entire video discussion on its own just discussing the philosophy of a bad choice road, but the basic idea is that if you make good decisions, you'll lead your life down a good road. But if you continuously make bad decisions, you have no one to blame but yourself for the horrible situations that you end up in.
The road we're on led us out to the desert and everything that happened there and straight back to where we are right now. And nothing can be done about that.
This Bad Choice Road monologue is something that Jimmy takes with him, later trying to explain to Kim at the end of the episode, albeit in a horribly but comedic paraphrased manner.
We all make choices, right? And those choices, they put us on a road. And the road has good choices and it has bad choices. This is a bad choice road.
But back to the Jimmy and Mike convo. Not only does Mike explain Bad Choice Road to Jimmy, he also tries giving Jimmy some advice on how to cope with the horrible things that they've been through based on Mike's own personal experiences on how he deals with it.
You said this goes away, so what's the time frame on that?
It's different for different people, I suppose.
For me, when will this be over for me?
Mike tells Jimmy that there's no easy way to forget what happened, and how one day you'll wake up and go about your day and realize that you haven't thought about it. This implies that there's nothing you can really do to cope with the PTSD of what you've been through, and that eventually will just slowly go away on its own. Now, I'm no therapist or psychologist, but in my opinion, this is honestly horrible advice, since there are many healthy ways to deal with trauma and PTSD. Letting your PTSD just bottle up inside while trying to ignore it isn't healthy. Even if it does work for Mike, allowing it to slowly fade away as he accepts the situations he's put himself in, that's obviously not going to work with every single other person.
One day you're gonna wake up, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth, go about your business. And sooner or later, you're gonna realize you haven't thought about it. None of it. And that's the moment you realize you can forget. When you know that's possible, it all gets easier.
Now, Mike says this not only due to his own experiences, but also due to what Stacy said during a support group meeting.
Today, I got up and I took a shower. Kaylee woke up on her own and got herself ready for school. It was just a regular morning. I took her to school and went to work, and then I realized it. I don't know why I noticed it just then, but I hadn't thought about Maddie all morning. Not once.
If you remember, during season 3, I believe. Slight correction, I was wrong. It's actually during season 4, episode 4 talk. I just thought it was during season 3 because I scripted my season 3 and season 4 tier lists at the same time, but I digress. Let's move on. Stacy said how she woke up one morning and made breakfast and went about her day without thinking about Maddie at all.
When I was making French toast, why didn't I remember that it's his favorite? I think about Maddie every single time I make breakfast, but not today. And they weren't just minutes. There were hours that I didn't think about him.
She eventually realized that this was the first time she was able to do so and questioned why, as if it was a bad thing.
And if I can go hours, then why not a whole day? Why not a whole week? I mean, what if I lose the sound of his voice? What if I forget him completely?
Stacy was worried that she'll eventually forget about Maddie, even though she does state that she'll never truly forget.
I mean, I know I won't. That's like impossible, but I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways, without all that context and just taking what Mike said at face value, Jimmy seems to agree that this is horrible advice, saying that he hates how out of all the people living on our planet, that Mike is the only one he can speak to about his problems.
I can't believe there's like over 1 billion people on this planet. The only person I have to talk about this to is you.
Even with that being said, in this new teaser trailer, we hear Jimmy reciting the advice that Mike told them that he once thought was so horrible.
One day we'll wake up and brush our teeth and we'll go to work.
One day you're gonna wake up, eat your breakfast, brush your teeth, go about your business.
And at some point we'll suddenly realize,
And sooner or later, you're gonna realize
no, we haven't thought about it at all.
you haven't thought about it. None of it.
Is this due to Jimmy finally coming around and agreeing with Mike's mindset after everything that's happened in season 6? Or is this just because Jimmy just simply can't think of anything better to say, just like how Mike couldn't think of anything better to say when he originally said this to Jimmy in the first place? So, who is Jimmy saying this to, and when does this happen? I assume that Jimmy is saying this to Kim, as she is now most likely traumatized as well from the recent season 6 events. Not only do I think is this Jimmy speaking to Kim, considering the events of episodes 607 and 608, but also considering the fact that Jimmy has repeated something to Kim that Mike has told him before, with this new paraphrasing even being from the same Bad Choice Road conversation that Mike and Jimmy had, as we just discussed. So now Kim is most likely traumatized just like Jimmy. If episode 608 has anything to say for it, Ray C. Horton did amazing acting in that episode, just showing how much Kim was going through in the moment during the beginning of the episode, the middle, then when she gets captured by Mike, and even through to the end, how silent she just is through it.
But he sees a woman. She looks like she's in distress. Maybe her car broke down.
You said you were watching us. Where were you? Huh?
Cops are gonna want to hear from you. You tell the cops you saw him.
It never happened.
Give Ray Seahorn a freaking award or we riot. So Jimmy probably sees in Kim that she's traumatized just like how he was, so he tries to give her the same lousy advice that he was once given. I love the parallels between Jimmy paraphrasing Mike to Kim in episode 509, along with him doing it again here in season 6. Also, considering the way that Jimmy is speaking here in this teaser trailer as he recites what Mike once told him, I have a gut feeling that this is the same conversation between Jimmy and Kim, where we'll hear him say,
So, after all that, a happy ending.
which is another mysterious line from a different trailer that is yet to come to fruition. And well, if Jimmy is saying this to Kim in regards to them getting out of the current situation with Lalo and Howard and everything that happened in episodes 607 and 608, it is technically true. They do get a happy ending, they get to live, go about their lives, but it's incredibly selfish. I mean, just think of Howard. Like, really, is that really a happy ending? It's a happy ending for you, but not him, and to call it a happy ending for yourself, I get that it's Jimmy trying to give a glass half full to the entire situation, but still, that's just an incredibly selfish mindset. So, what do you think of this trailer? Do you think I hit the nail on the head in regards to Jimmy speaking to Kim, in regards to the recent traumatic experiences that they've had with Lalo in season 6, and that Jimmy is saying this to Kim due to her being traumatized now as well? Or is Jimmy speaking to someone else? Also, what are your opinions on the whole bad choice road monologue, along with the one day you just won't think about it anymore monologue? There's a lot of deep conversations that could be had in regards to these pieces of dialogue, especially considering Jimmy's repeating it to someone else after being first told it to himself by Mike. I feel like I've just barely scratched the surface of this during my trailer breakdown, as I don't want this video to spiral out of control, but there's really a lot that can be said about it. As I said beforehand, you can make an entire video just discussing this dialogue and the philosophy of it all, so let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, and if you're new to the channel and just haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post new content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. I have like 27,000 subscribers, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I never even thought I'd make it to this point, and it's honestly a dream come true that I've even got this far, but my videos get like 50k to 100k views a video, so you know, there's a lot of you that aren't subscribed. So if you want to help support the channel, see more content from me in the future with Better Call Saul and even Breaking Bad once Better Call Saul ends, feel free to subscribe and help support the channel and see future content that I make, as I have a lot planned for the Breaking Bad universe in the next few years, even after Better Call Saul concludes. Also, if you want to take the extra mile, check out my Patreon and give a super thanks to help support the channel financially. But most importantly, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
We all make our choices, and those choices, they put us on a road.
We all make choices, right? And those choices, they put us on a road.